If you are a single dad like me, bedtime can feel like a battle. But I found a simple routine that completely changes our nights. No more back and forth with the kids, just one command and my kids fall asleep peacefully. So let me show you how. So the setup is using Amazon Echo with Amazon Echo Glow, which is a night light. So I use the Alexa app to set up routines and automation. When I give the Amazon Echo a command, Alexa, bedtime, the night will automatically turn on to an orange color, which is ideal for sleeping. And then it will also turn on the sleeping lullaby music to play. And the lullabies will automatically turn off after an hour. This makes it easy for me to give the kids a nightlight so they're not scared of the dark, and to listen to lullaby music so they can easily fall asleep. The big problem I was trying to solve for was that I did not want to constantly stay in the room with my 7 and 5-year-old every single night until they finally fall asleep. Because if I try to leave the room, they're gonna cry and they wanna go after me. And I was wasting time just sitting there waiting for them to fall asleep. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the technology devices you need to get started, how to set up the automation in the Alexa app, what to expect in the first few weeks of using this new technique, because obviously it's not going to become a habit in the first few weeks. It's going to take some time and the kid's going to have to learn it. But the long-term benefit is that you get your kids sleeping all the time. You don't have to wait in the room, doing nothing, being frustrated. And most importantly, you get hours back of your time to relax or to work on whatever project you want to work on. So as I mentioned before, my common frustration was when I was trying to put the kids to sleep and I left the room, the kids would constantly try to sneak out. They would take way too long to finally fall asleep, and they would need me to constantly be there for them to fall asleep because they're scared of the dark. I just remember just feeling really, really exhausted, sitting near them, just, come on, can you finally go to sleep? Go to sleep, just yelling at them, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And luckily my friend, he suggested using Alexa and putting them to sleep using the lullabies, and it worked amazing. These kids, they purposely, constantly make excuses to get up so that they could purposely stay awake, like going to pee, even though they just peed a minute ago. Or they need a tissue for their fake stuffy nose, and just so much more. Like they do anything in their power to just try to stay awake a bit longer. And honestly, that's really frustrating as a parent. So the first thing you're gonna need is an Amazon Echo. I bought the owl because it's, it looks like a kid. Kids love animals, and the owl looks pretty cool. And so they loved it. And usually they go on sale often. It doesn't have to be this particular Echo, but it can be something else. I just like this one because it looks cool. I bought it on sale, so just look out for sales as well. And then you're gonna need the Amazon Echo Glow, which is the night light. You could control this with the Alexa app, and I also bought this on sale too. And they both usually go on sale, so look out for those. Here is the Alexa app. And at the bottom left, if you click on the 3 horizontal arrows, it's gonna take you to a list of menus. And you wanna click on routines at the middle right. And it's gonna take you to some other categories and stuff. In the top middle, you wanna click on your routines. And here are all my automations and my commands that will set up the things that I needed to do. So let's first talk about automatically turning off the night light, because you don't wanna have to manually turn it off every single morning. So as you can see, I'm telling it when. At every sunrise, every single day, I want Alexa to automatically turn off the night light. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do anything else with it. It's done. So next, let's look at the bedtime routine. Now, as you can see here, the command is Alexa, bedtime. So after I say that, all the things below it, what Alexa will do is gonna happen. So first things first is gonna turn on the night light. And as you can see here, I'm gonna click into the night light menu. It's gonna tell Alexa to turn on that night light. The mode is a solid color. The brightness, I like to keep it around 25%. Pro tip, you want the nightlight to be bright enough so that they can see in the dark and walk around the room, but not too bright where it keeps them awake at night, obviously. And I like to use the orange color because orange is the amber light, and it just makes it easier for them to fall asleep. And then I also have set the volume to volume 4 automatically. So I don't have to constantly tell it to use a lower type of volume. It's already gonna set it to volume 4. And then I tell it to play deep sleep playlist. So basically a bunch of music that's meant to make them fall asleep. As you can see here, I'm telling it to play a deep sleep playlist. And for the provider, I could choose a music app to use. So I'm telling it to use the Amazon Music app. And then the duration is 1 hour. So after 1 hour, it's gonna automatically stop playing the music. So boom, that is the setup for the Alexa app. Use the automation to your advantage. It saves up so much time, and it's so easy to do. So single dads, I know how exhausting bedtime can be. If this makes sense for you, please tap the like so more dads can see this. And if you want more simple, no BS parenting tips, hit subscribe. I got a lot more coming. So let's talk about the first few weeks after you try to implement this with your kids. So my honest answer is that the kids will try to sneak out because obviously you're not in the room no more. My kids, I could hear them trying to tap around, sneak up behind me. I could just hear them, right? But you got to give it some time because eventually, also you're going to tell them to go back to the room and stay in their bed and just fall asleep. And over time, they will get better at it. They're going to fall asleep faster. They're going to slowly get used to the music, the amber light. It's going to work within a few weeks. And so you got to be very consistent. You got to be very patient. And it's just like all things teaching the kids stuff. You just got to be really consistent and patient with whatever habit you're trying to teach them. And then you want to empower them to be like, hey, this is what big kids do. This is how you be more independent. You're going to do a great job. So I try to encourage them as much as possible, and it works. And so let's talk about the long-term benefits of this. So the first thing first is that the kids sleep on time. They just sleep much faster because we're not there all the time. They sleep faster because of the lullaby music and the amber light. It makes such a great atmosphere that the kids just automatically fall asleep after a bit. And they're going to get better at it. I'm telling you, my kids, I think it took maybe 3 weeks for them to finally stop sneaking out the room and just stay in bed, and they automatically fall asleep. I have 2 kids, and so you can hear them chatting every now and then after a few minutes, they just fall asleep. It's so cool. And this routine just helps them feel more safe and in control and more independent. And most importantly, this is the most important part, it saves us more time to do whatever we want after they fall asleep. So my routine is that I put them to bed around 8 p.m. and I read them a bedtime story or I talk to them for like 15 minutes. And then that's when I tell Alexa bedtime and I just leave the room. That takes less than 30 minutes to do, right? And then I usually sleep around 11 o'clock. So I have over 2 hours of free time to do whatever I want now. And one thing I really highly encourage you to do is not really to watch TV or play video games, because I used to do that. But if we're trying to be better dads, I highly recommend you trying to learn new skills or work on a project or just trying to make some more money or exercise or something like that, right? So I just highly encourage you to really replace that time with something very productive. What I'm trying to do is just really give you your time back because you deserve it. You're working hard for the kids. You're busy all the time. You will get hours and hours back in your day by letting the kids fall asleep to this technology and automation. It will take time, so you gotta be patient. Give yourself some grace because sometimes you might get frustrated or mad at them for sneaking out the room. If you're struggling with bedtime with the kids, definitely try out this method. It works really well. And you could customize it to whatever you want. You can use a different color light, you can use different music, but the point is to automate it so that they can fall asleep without us staying in the room with them the whole time. And it teaches them also independence so that they could start just learning and doing things on their own without our constant supervision. So I hope the setup could change your life and just give you hours back in your day. Because before this, I remember staying there for over an hour or 2 just for them to finally fall asleep. And they would just constantly try to purposely make excuses so that they could get out of bed and stay awake longer, right? It's so frustrating. And I was just thinking about different ways. Okay, how the heck could I just make the kids fall asleep so I don't have to stay in here with them? And luckily my friend suggested this automation and technology. I was like, okay, I definitely gotta try this. And within a few weeks, it works amazingly well. That's how I put my kids to sleep all the time now. And it's so good. It just works so well. I wish I did this much sooner. So single dads like me, I get it. It's exhausting. Try this out. Let me know what are your results in the comment below, or let me know how you put your kids to sleep and if there's a better method that's out there, because I'm always willing to learn and try it out. But this method so far has worked amazingly well, and I hope you try it out. So if you're a single dad looking for more practical parenting hacks and just want to follow my journey, check out my next video right here. Trust me, you want to see this one.